Running sucks, is what I used to think. You see, for the vast majority of my life, fitness has been at the epicenter, and I've always been athletic. At the age of 4, I started playing football. At 16, I got my first gym membership, and now at 25, I'm a full-time fitness coach. I've played pretty much every sport there is to play and trained every way there is to train. But the one thing I always struggled with was running. When I first started my fitness journey, it was all about getting into the gym, packing on muscle and getting stronger. And whilst that worked, it came at a cost. Physically, I might have looked pretty good, but in reality, I felt like a bag of shit. I couldn't walk up the stairs without getting out of breath. I felt heavy and sluggish 24/7, and my mobility was absolutely pathetic. I was genuinely as stiff as an ironing board. Years of doing pretty much nothing but lifting weights had taken its toll, and it's safe to say it made the start of my running journey a million times harder. When I first started, I could barely run a couple of kilometers at a super slow pace without feeling like I was going to pass out, whereas now I'm running 50 to 60 kilometers per week and prepping for a sub 1 hour 30 half marathon and a sub 3 hour 15 marathon. So if you're trying to become a better runner, you're in the right place and you're listening to the right person, because in this video, I'm going to run through the 5 biggest reasons why you find running so difficult and how to fix them. So let's crack on. Reason number 1, you're going out too fast. To be honest, this is the piece of advice that I wish someone told me when I first started running, because I was definitely guilty of doing this myself. I used to treat every run like a race, and every single time I laced up my trainers, would sprint out the door thinking I'm Usain Bolt, spend the first 500 meters of my run gasping for air, and then have to stop for 15 to 20 minutes because I thought I was going to pass out. And when you think about it, it makes sense, because at the start of your run, you feel quite fresh. Adrenaline kicks in, and you're probably more eager and motivated to get out there. So naturally, you speed up a little bit without really noticing. A few minutes later, however, that comes back around to bite you in the arse. Your heart rate spikes, lactate builds up, and your breathing becomes quite uncontrollable, and all of a sudden, you're in the trenches. Not only does running now feel 10 times more difficult, but it also is 10 times more miserable. So instead, what you need to do is slow it down and introduce easy runs into your training. Something that really helped me when I first started running is to use an 80-20 rule. What this means is that 80% of your run should be at an easy conversational pace. The other 20% can be your speed-focused sessions where you're running at faster paces and trying to improve things like your VO2 max. Now, just to rewind a second, I know you might be sitting there thinking,
Harry, what the fuck is conversational pace?
And it's sort of what it says on the tin. It's a pace that you can hold a conversation at, otherwise known by its slightly more technical term, zone 2. Now, the beauty of running at this pace is it builds your aerobic capacity and your baseline fitness level while still allowing your body to recover, which over time is going to help you build your miles and make running longer distances easier, whilst also making your runs way more enjoyable because you're not absolutely dying. So I know it sounds counterproductive, but by actually slowing down to the point where you're kind of embarrassed about how slowly you're running, you'll actually progress much quicker and gain a lot more enjoyment out of your runs. Now, whilst you're here, you might as well check out my completely free 10-week run and lift program that you can download for free via the link in the description. It lays out all of your running sessions and all of your resistance training sessions so you know exactly what you should be doing, and it will help you get leaner, fitter, faster, and stronger than you've ever been before. Oh, and did I mention it's completely free? There are no strings attached. Once again, you can download that via the link in the description below. Reason number 2, you have a poor body composition. Now, this is going to piss some people off, but take it from me. When I was overweight, running felt practically impossible. It was only when I lost all of the excess body fat and got serious about improving my body composition where running started to feel 10 times easier. Running is a weight-bearing sport. You're moving your own body weight around over and over again thousands of times. Every step you take, you absorb impact, produce force, and push yourself forward. And if you're carrying a bucket load of excess body fat around, every step is costing you more and more energy. Imagine going for a 5-kilometer run with a 10-kilogram sandbag strapped around your waist. That's what carrying excess body fat feels like, and the crazy part is you really start to notice and appreciate the difference after you've lost the weight. I'm not saying you need to be skinny, far from it. I mean, take me as an example. I probably carry more muscle mass than the majority of runners. I'm saying improving your body composition, i.e. the ratio of body fat to muscle mass that you hold, will significantly improve your running performance. So there's a few key things you need to make sure you're doing to make this happen. Number 1 is getting yourself into a slight calorie deficit. Now remember, you only want to be in a slight deficit because you're not just trying to lose weight, you're trying to lose body fat, and we want to maintain as much muscle as possible. possible. Number 2, and alongside that deficit, you need to keep your protein intake high at around 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight in order to maintain said muscle mass. And number 3, you need to follow a correctly structured resistance training program and focus on building strength over time. Doing these 3 things will help you shift the unwanted body fat whilst maintaining your muscle, making you lighter but keeping you stronger, and ultimately improving your body composition, which, as we've already discussed, is one of the biggest performance gains you can make when you're trying to become a better runner. Reason number 3, your running technique is poor. Running is a skill. Most people think it's automatic, but it isn't. You have to learn how to do it properly. One of the biggest mistakes that lads make is overstriding, which is essentially where you plant your front foot too far in front of your body. And the big issue with this is you're essentially creating a brake force with every step you take. Think about it. If you want your body traveling forward, but your leg reaches out in front of you and your foot hits the ground in front of your center of mass, you're sending force back against the direction that you're trying to travel in. So rather than smoothly carrying your momentum forwards, you're actually slowing yourself down with every step you take, and then having to use more energy just to accelerate yourself forwards again. Now, if you multiply that by thousands of steps that you're taking on a run, you can easily see how that's going to slow you down and make running less efficient. One of the ways we'd look at fixing this is by improving your cadence, which is basically the number of steps you take per minute. Rather than taking these really long, reachy strides, think about taking shorter, sharper, quicker strides and having your feet land directly underneath your body. Now, I wouldn't obsess over hitting some sort of magical cadence number, because that's going to be completely individualized to you, your running mechanics, your height, how long your limbs are, all of that jazz. But if you are finding running quite difficult, there's a chance you're overstriding, and even by improving your step rate by 5 to 10% can help you shorten your strides and make running feel a lot easier again. Reason number 4, your legs aren't strong enough. Just because you're cardiovascularly fit and ready to progress with your running doesn't mean your legs are. And more often than not, this is one of the biggest things I see holding a lot of runners back. As I've already mentioned, every time your foot hits the floor, your body has to absorb force, stabilize your body, and then exert more force in order to propel you forward. And your lower body strength is going to play a massive role in this. For example, your calf muscles and muscles in the lower leg, like your gastrocnemius and soleus, are responsible for controlling the forces going through your ankle when you land. If those muscles are underdeveloped and weak, they're going to fatigue very quickly, which can make your running feel really horrible, even if cardiovascularly you're absolutely fine. And this is why it's so important to have a running specific leg day in your training program. Getting strong on exercises like a squat or a deadlift doesn't necessarily mean you've developed the strength and endurance in the lower leg areas like your calf, ankles and feet that running requires, which is why you need to have the right blend of compound exercises, unilateral exercises, isolation exercises, and plyometric exercises. Your compound exercises are there to build overall strength. Your unilateral exercises are there to build single leg stability and target any imbalances that you've got. Isolation exercises are great for targeting any weak areas, and plyometric exercises are a game changer for improving force output. All of these come together in a correctly structured resistance training program, not just to improve your running performance, but to also keep you injury free. And once again, if you want to make life easier for yourself and know exactly what you should be doing, download my free 10-week run and lift program via the link in the description. It's completely free, there's no strings attached. So don't just make the mistake of thinking that becoming a better runner is about doing more running. Focus on bulletproofing your legs and dialing in a consistent and correctly structured lower body resistance training session each week. And reason number 5, you don't have an aerobic base. I often find this to be a problem with guys like myself who have come from more of a gym background. Because in the gym, we're taught that we need to suffer in order to make progress. We need to train at a high intensity and take our sets close to failure. That's how we're going to build muscle. And whilst that is correct, running is very different. In running, the more you suffer, the harder it's going to be. Instead, what you need to do is focus on building a bigger engine. You have to understand that there's a different mindset and training approach when it comes to lifting weights versus getting better at running. In a nutshell, your aerobic system is going to supply oxygen to the working muscles. The better developed it is, the less effort every pace requires. And this links quite nicely to the first point that I made, because easy running will improve a few different variables. The first is your stroke volume, which means that you'll be able to pump more blood around the body and to the working muscles with every heartbeat. It will improve your mitochondrial density, which basically equates to better energy production, and it will improve your capillary development, which once again means better oxygen delivery to those working muscles. To save you from all the boring science, wishy-washy shite, your body basically becomes a lot better at producing energy aerobically. So a big mistake a lot of beginner runners make is thinking that by running every session harder, they'll get faster. But actually, it's easy running that builds your aerobic capacity, which is why, like I've already mentioned, the majority of your runs should be easy, low-effort runs focused on steadily building mileage. I promise you, if you apply even a few of the things that I've taught you in this video, not only in a couple of months' time are you going to be a drastically better runner, but you're also going to enjoy your running a hell of a lot more. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Leave any questions and comments that you have down below. I'll be replying to all of them. And if you're new around here, don't forget to subscribe so I can see you in the next one.